My God, we are only halfway through September, and it's already felt like this channel has had to cover 2 or 3 months worth of leaks. And a lot of them have garnered criticism recently. So I knew that no matter what information came out this Friday, that I should do a video that was really predominantly about clearing the air on my recent ARC cancellation information, because I just don't feel like I'm being entirely quoted in good faith, and a lot of people misunderstand why ARC would be canceled. You don't need inside sources, actually. There's public information out there that should tell you launching a graphics card into this market right now, well, it sucks unless you're at the peak of competitiveness, which Alchemist isn't. And if you had any doubts that that was true, that this market sucked to compete in right now, then you might want to make sure you don't miss the news that EVGA has canceled supporting Nvidia graphics cards. And actually, this news broke while I was recording the next Broken Silicon coming out with Mark from golem.de. And, well, we were able to get a source to call in and then live react to the information and give updates. So don't miss the next Broken Silicon. It will come out early, and it's a really good discussion about that and other RDNA 3 stuff as well. We've been talking about what I know about it, a potential Lovelace Nvidia tie-in. But what I will talk about today, before that Broken Silicon comes out, is if you guys had any doubt that my Nvidia's Ultimate Play report from 2020 wasn't true, I don't know what other proof you need than EVGA saying they can't make cards profitably and they're done working with Nvidia. It was all true. Nvidia made AIBs look like the bad guy, sold founders cards in super low volume, at least at first, at prices that AIBs could not match and make a profit. And, well, at least EVGA is fed up. There really is. What I've discussed on this channel for at least a month now, there really is at least a year's worth of Ampere supply yet to be sold before we even talk about the used cards that are flooding eBay right now. And what's happened, or one of the main reasons EVGA is done with Nvidia, is they really didn't want to bother with a Lovelace launch until they were sure they could get their Ampere supply figured out. And I think Nvidia thought they were bluffing. EVGA was not bluffing. They have a year's worth of cards to sell. They don't need Lovelace, and power supplies are more profitable for them. And so, well, there you go. This market sucks to launch a graphics card right now. And so, well, we do need to talk about Intel, because I think people misunderstand what's going on with the ARC launch and the cancellation of future products. It's not a matter, again, of them being short-sighted or being lazy. It's a matter of Intel not wanting to commit financial suicide, okay? Now, I'm going to talk about that in a second, but I've talked about the EVGA thing a little bit, and I actually want to talk about something else that I hope hooked a lot of you into this video, by the way, Raptor Lake pricing, because there's some stuff with that, believe it or not, is actually linked to Alchemist as well. Let's look at it. All right, let's get right into the information I know a lot of you came here for, Raptor Lake pricing. Now, I have to emphasize this, like I always have to emphasize something at the beginning of these leaks. Pricing information can be adjusted last minute, and it will vary by region and storefront a tad, just like with Alder Lake's launch. But as of now, this seems very final. Remember, whether you went to Micro Center or Newegg or a mom and pop shop, when Alder Lake came out, the pricing was a bit different, but this seems to be pretty dang final as of now. So first, the i9 13900K, that should be $660 to $730. The i9 13900KF, $630 to $700. So I'm guessing most likely this will be just below the price of the 7950X from AMD. The i7 13700K will be $460 to $520. Again, a hair below the price of the 7900X, but I do believe the 7900X probably will be justified to cost a little bit more. Then we get to the i7 13700KF, $440 to $489. Again, if you think about it, this is just a better like i9 12900KS. So, I mean, it's cheaper, but it's not earth-shattering. And then the i5, the one everyone's waiting for, that I warned might cost more than you expect. Yeah, this is going to cost more than the 7600X. at least 10% more, maybe 15% more. And so we're going to have to see if it even manages to tie it in gaming. If it does, I'd say it's worth the extra money for multi-threading performance that it brings over the 6-core Zen 4. But if it loses in gaming by even 5%, there's going to be an argument for the 7600X. Maybe not one that I would listen to or that I would use myself. I might still choose the i5, but keep in mind why AMD might charge $300 for that. And then you have the i5 13600KF for probably a hair more than the 7600X. And again, I'd probably take this over that 7600X, I guess. But remember, the 7600X actually has integrated graphics, unlike that KF. And if it wins at gaming, well, AMD has an argument. But I don't want to dwell on that too much here because there's some other interesting information. Alder Lake pricing is increasing for retailers to purchase for sale to the public. Now, I don't know if Intel will officially change MSRPs on Alder Lake, but what you've been hearing consistently on this channel, and I'm sure someone else has talked about it, that Intel needs to raise margins. They really do, and that applies to products they already have. And, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, a lot of pricing on Alder Lake is already below the official MSRP on some storefronts. That might change whether Intel announces an official MSRP change or not for 12th Gen. Now, the review embargo and sales are currently planned for October 20th. This was leaked, I at least know, by WCCF Tech and others, whereas I said that it should launch at 10/22, and that comes from me knowing that Z790, and I have proof of this, will go on sale by 10/22. So might the 790 launch right after the review and embargo of sales for Raptor Lake? Sure. But also, again, keep in mind, these dates can change. They did for Alder Lake. Zen 4 slightly adjusted some dates, so Intel wants to launch this as close to the middle of October or earlier as they can. So again, I wouldn't get married to these dates, but I'd say everything should go on sale by 10/22. Now, early volume for Raptor Lake does not look that great at the time of this recording, especially not compared to Zen 4. So I do believe with the higher pricing for some of these models compared to Zen 4, the fact that it's launching a month later and in worse volume, AMD really has an opening here. And actually, this isn't AMD info, but I didn't know where else to put it in this video. I'm hearing X670E might launch slightly behind Raphael. Now, that doesn't mean X670 non-extreme will. That should be there on day one. But it seems like it'll be less of a week in a delay, so at most 7 days, maybe just 2. But it sounds like there are some more things to work out in specifically the X670E BIOSes that might delay it a few days. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Of course, AMD doesn't want that to happen, but that's what I'm hearing. And Intel plans to brief partners on Raptor Lake and remaining Alchemist release schedules at their innovation event, which everyone would be good to note is after late summer, which Intel said the A770 would launch within, is over. And so I can now confirm that as of this recording, and again, I expect shenanigans. I always expect shenanigans out of AXG. It seems clear to me that Intel will effectively miss their late summer launch date for Alchemist. After all, it is the 16th when this video comes out. The best they could do is some paper launch early next week, which is at the very end of late summer anyways. I've talked to multiple people that say they have no Alchemist cards right now. They're not ready to review them. So I don't know what's going to happen, but take it to the bank that Intel has missed quarter 3 or missed late summer effectively. And again, I don't know how Intel's going to try to spin this, but they probably will. But what you guys got to know right now is that it really doesn't matter what they say, because they said quarter 1 and then they said quarter 3 for Workstation. The A770 is not Workstation, and even if they paper launch it on September 30th, that is not late summer. So there you go. Whatever argument you make about Intel executing on Alchemist, whatever they say they're going to do in the future, they have not done what they said they were going to do this year. Even if you take their spin and swallow it, they said late summer for the A770. It has not launched. And, well, I have more information as I know that Pat addressed employees at Intel today. And I also got more information on what's going on or what's not going on with Battlemage. But first, an ad from a sponsor. Reese, what is it? What's this message over here?
You want treats, belly rubs, walks, and to not overpay for Windows keys.
Well, I can definitely handle the treats, belly rubs, and walks on my own. I can't help Reese with getting reasonably priced Microsoft keys without cdkeyoffer.com. This piece of content is sponsored by cdkeyoffer.com, a long-term sponsor of Moore's Law's Dead and its community for any time someone in my community needs reasonably priced Office or Microsoft operating system keys without paying excessive monopolistic pricing. But that's not all they offer either. They also have great deals on PlayStation, Steam, Origin, and Uplay keys, and physical products like gaming chairs and keyboards and mice as well. They are always running sales, but make sure you use the best code possible provided for Moore's Law's Dead fans for the biggest discount. Use the links in the description or on screen, and then the code BROKENSILICON to get 25% off Windows codes, or Die Shrink for 3% off everything else on the website. Being on these links really does help the channel a lot, and using the offer codes helps it even more. It keeps CDKey Offer as a reliable sponsor for this community and for you to use again in the future as they keep sponsoring us. Go to cdkeyoffer.com today. So like I said before the break, Pat Gelsinger addressed Intel's employees today, and I knew that this would happen. This isn't some big secret, actually. Pat Gelsinger does company-wide addresses on Friday mornings all the time, and given how widespread the conversation was around my ARC cancellation leaks, I thought that I should just wait for any Intel video I wanted to do until today, Friday, because I had a feeling Pat would say something, and well, I'm glad I waited. You know, the initial version of this video was going to bring up random tweets and arguments on Twitter and debunk claims people were making, but I think this is the better way to address this. What Pat said when he was asked, because most of the questions from employees today were about AXG, when he was asked what's happening to Intel AXG, he said two things that have, well, a lot of repercussions if you read into them. He said, number one, the board is behind his strategy and his vision for the company, and they are behind his decisions. So whatever decisions are about to be announced, Pat's in on them. Now, the second thing he said is he wouldn't speak about specific product lines, but he said changes in the business were going to be announced very soon, hinting at next week. And so I don't know. I can't promise you he will make some official statement about AXG next week, but it sounds pretty likely. And at the end of the day, we need to talk now then about whatever the decision he makes, which again, when I said the decision was made, I said the decision was made to effectively cancel discrete ARC. I didn't say for sure they wouldn't have some token launches, something on laptop or whatever. What they're working on with Battlemage now, my guess would be something comes out. But yeah, in fact, I know I'm not putting any quotes on screen, but it's because I just don't have time to do that right now. You guys are just going to have to listen to what I'm saying. It sounds like if any Battlemage products come out, there's one die, and if it were to launch somehow mid next year, it'd probably be almost mid-range. But most likely, it sounds like early 2024. And it will probably be low-end. So not a whole family of cards, one low-end thing, so that they can put something in data center, and also so they can maybe have something in laptop low-end that they continue to develop drivers for. But again, there's a reason I word things the way I do. And that ARC cancellation video, when I said ARC Discrete is effectively canceled, I say effectively because what you guys were hoping for, and some big roadmap of competitive cards out of Intel that compete against 400-watt Nvidia cards, that is not what Intel plans to do over the next couple of years. I'm not even sure it's going to happen to Celestial, but it sounds like Battlemage has been neutered. It sounds like Celestial is on borrowed time. And it sounds like, well, Pat's just aware that this is a horrible market to launch graphics cards into, right? Intel cannot afford to lose $400 million quarter after quarter if they can't be as competitive as the best cards out there. Nvidia is in big trouble competing with their last-gen products, and Intel can't compete with Nvidia's last-gen products. So if that's a problem for Nvidia, it's a 4 times bigger problem for Intel. The fact of the matter is, despite what some people still seem to think, Intel does not have unlimited money. They need to pick and choose what markets they focus on and what products make sense. That is why Optane was canceled. And if Nvidia has trouble competing in high-end graphics right now, whether it's their fault or not, it doesn't matter. Their Lovelace, their Ampere overproduction affects everybody. If they've screwed themselves, they've screwed everybody who's less competitive than Nvidia. And Intel is a lot less competitive in graphics than Nvidia. And so, yeah. Well, this is the part of the video where I address quickly what a cancellation might look like. And the honest to God truth is I don't know. I am sure the decision has been made that they're going to radically change the ARC discrete roadmap, and that from my point of view, high-end gamers should just consider Intel discrete canceled. But will they literally announce a cancellation? Will they launch some token product? Probably some token battle mage, at least a laptop to desktop? I don't know. But the fact of the matter is it's impossible for me to pin down what a cancellation looks like if I can't even pin down what AXG is saying right now. Right? I don't know. I'll know that I've been wrong about my Intel cancellation leak if they launch, I don't know, some like 350 watt high-end card next year that competes with enthusiast AMD and Nvidia products. If they do that, then it's clear cut. I was wrong about ARC's cancellation. But anything else, anything less or more, this ARC Alchemist launch has been the most drawn out, absurd, confusing thing I've ever seen. How confusing do you think AXG might make the effective cancellation of enthusiast discrete desktop cards? I can't even fathom how confusing it would be. And I hope it's not. I hope they just come out and they say, we're done with this. We're putting it in a hiatus. We will have low-end cards for laptop, and they just make it clear. I think that would actually be the best thing, because I think investors are getting fed up with trying to parse what they're doing. But I can't promise that's what AXG will do, you guys. And that just about does it for this video. Well, except for one more thing. There is one tweet that I said I wanted to address. Now I'm going to. And it comes from Roger Kadori, who said that he didn't know what to think of recent rumors, but that he didn't think they helped the team working hard to bring these products to market, and that they didn't help the PC graphics community. That one must wonder, who do these rumors help? Well, Raja, I want to find the truth. And if I find a story that uncovers the truth, I want to get it out there. Because my allegiance isn't to you. My allegiance isn't to Intel. Because here's the truth, Raja. I don't know how lying to PC gamers for a year straight helped the community. I don't know how lying to other parts of Intel helped your company. I don't think it helped anyone. What I think would help is to know when products are coming out and what they will do. And that to lie to PC gamers for an entire year straight helped no one.